So today is my main squat day for my 15-week progression. For a while I've been meaning to have a go at low bar squats. I'm much stronger, obviously posterior chain is my strength. When I do the pendulum squats at the gym, I feel very strong on them. And when I look at from the side view, I've got like vertical shins when I'm doing it. When I do the high bar, push my knees way over my toes. So thought let's have a little do with a low bar, because when I first got my squat rack at home here in my basement, when I first started squatting, really, I managed. The first time I ever squatted 3 plates was low bar, but then I was getting a bit of elbows and wrist issues, and I just started preferring the high bar, and then I just stuck with that. So I thought let's have a go low bar and try and progress that, because I think I'll be stronger, but it's gonna need a while to get used to. So I'm gonna hang fire with that. I'm gonna wait till these 15 weeks are over and then really start up from a much lower weight and build it up. I think I managed to get up to 160 for a triple, a decent triple. To be honest, it felt decent in terms of my wrist and elbow and the mobility. Felt okay. I could get it on my back quite well, but I didn't feel as strong, obviously, as I do high bar, because I'm just not used to it. But I did get the triple, and today I was down for the triple at 160 and some back off sets. The third rep was a bit of a struggle. But anyway, I just decided, no, we'll sack that off. And I took all the weight off, and I ended up, see, that third rep was a struggle. Took the weight off and just went back to high bar. So I worked up to my 160 again with the high bar. So it was a triple at 160, 4 sets of 6 back off work at 130. Now, I felt I was using different muscles with the low bar squat. I felt I was definitely using more lower back. I could still see that my shins weren't super vertical, and I don't know how much difference it's making in terms of my squat pattern. So I'm not super bent over when I'm doing it. Maybe I'll be better in flat shoes than heels, I don't know. But this 160 was quite tough after working back up. It took it out of me, the low bar squats. But that's, to be expected, I suppose. So I got my triple at 160, and then I did my back off sets, 4 sets of 6 at 130. So the aim over the next 5 weeks is to progress the triple on my main squat days. So 165, 170, 175, and hopefully by week 5, I can maybe hit a triple at 180. Not sure if I'll get it or not, but I'll go for it. I've had triples and I've had a set of 5 at 180 before, but they were poor depth, really poor depth, cutting depth by 3 or 4 inches, very high squats. So I want to get them good, if I can get a good triple at 180 to good depth, breaking parallels is not that important, as long as I get to a good parallel squat. So where I'm not rounding under, I'm happy with that. But 130 is quite an easy weight for me at the minute, but it felt tough after working up in the low bar squats, and plus I did quite a heavy deadlift yesterday. I did 230, which is, I don't even know if 250 is my max at the minute. I don't think I could get 250 now, so 230 is probably slightly above 90% of my max. So that's took it out of me a little bit. But, no excuses. I did say I was going to put my main squat day back to the Thursday, because I'm doing the gym work on the Sunday, pendulum squats and belt squats. So, I think I'll be better with an extra day, because that is leading to much more DOMs, much more soreness and fatigue than my squat session, because I'm just doing a lot more volume. So anyway, after the squats today, I went on to the overhead press. So the overhead press, I was debating whether I wanted to progress that or whether I just wanted to focus on my bench press. But I am going to try and progress it. I'm just going to try and progress everything if I can. If I can't, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to give it a go. So down for 3 sets of 5 at 65. Again, I'm going to progress that over the 5 weeks to get to 75 for 3 sets of 5, hopefully by week 5, which will be a tough effort for me. Recently, I've been widening my stance as I walk out with the OHP, and it's definitely helped. And today I actually decided to widen my grip a little bit. My grip is always very narrow on the overhead press. But because I've been widening my grip on the bench and seeing good results, I thought let's just widen it a little bit on the overhead press. It was only, an inch or two. I was just taking, usually my grip is kind of on the smooth, where the smooth meets the nailing. So I've maybe gone like an inch either side, but I felt, again, I could push more, you get more power into it. And on my last set, I got 9 reps, which is pretty good. I don't think, I could have maybe grinded out a 10th, but I weren't sure, so I left it. But I feel a bit stronger with this little bit of wider grip, the wider stance, the red sleeves. So I'm buzzing with that. I'm quite looking forward to progressing and seeing what I can get with this overhead press, seeing if I can maybe get another PB. I got a 90 kilogram overhead press a few months ago, which was my personal best. So I'd love to get a 92.5 if I could at the end of these 15 weeks. And then the deadlifts, didn't do much with the deadlift. You're quite tired. Just worked up to a quick single at 180. And then I've been aiming to put in some lighter back off sets, So I did a set of 5 at 150. Did a set of 5 at 150 the other day as well. So over the next 5 weeks, I'm going to be progressing that. So I'm going to do maybe a set of 4, some 4s at 160 next week, some 3s at 170 the week after, some doubles at 180, and then after the 5 weeks, I'm waving it back, going into 3s. So yeah, we'll see how we go.